never planned on coming back home. Not really. After college, I'd sworn to myself that the little house at the end of Willow Creek Lane would be a memory I could box up and keep on a shelf somewhere far away. But life has a funny way of pulling you back to the places you least want to go. It was my mother's voice on the phone that did it. She sounded smaller than I remembered, her words quivering like brittle leaves in the wind. "Just for the weekend," she said. "The house feels too big now, and I'd love to see you." I didn't argue. I packed a bag, telling myself it was only temporary. Just a few days, and then I'd be gone again. Driving up the long, cracked driveway, I couldn't help but notice how time had worn the place down. The paint on the shutters was peeling, the porch sagged a little, and weeds had claimed the once perfect flower beds. But it was still home, and stepping onto that porch, I felt something inside me loosen, like an old scar aching in the cold. The smell hit me first when I walked inside. That mix of cedar polish, faint dust, and something faintly sweet, like the cookies my mother used to bake when I came home from school. It was a smell that belonged to childhood, to a time before things got complicated. And like clockwork, my eyes went to the corner of the living room, the spot where Max's bed used to be. Max was my childhood dog, a golden retriever with ears too big for his head and eyes that looked at you like you were the most important person in the universe. He'd been my shadow through every scraped knee, every tearful night, every argument that rattled the walls of this house. When I was 10, he died suddenly. My parents said it was old age, but Max wasn't that old. I cried myself sick for weeks. Even now, decades later, standing in that room, I swear I could hear his nails clicking on the floorboards. Mom hugged me in the kitchen, holding on longer than usual. "You look thin," she said automatically, brushing my hair back like I was still 15. I smiled and let her fuss, but part of me was already restless, already itching with the unease of being back under this roof. The first night was quiet, too quiet. I couldn't sleep, tossing in the narrow bed I'd abandoned years ago. Around 2 a.m., I gave up and wandered downstairs. The house was darker than I remembered, shadows stretching long across the walls. That's when I saw it. On the kitchen table, where my mother always left the mail, sat a single envelope. No stamp, no return address. Just my name written in a hand I didn't recognize.